Hey everyone, it's Josh. I made my first YouTube video in a long time yesterday to document the harassment I've been getting from my landlords and over the last year. And I won't go back all over it this time, but because I want to make this a short video. But I want people to understand what the feeling is like living in here every day. Just the way it's become. Every morning I wake up and now that they know that I'm coming after them legally, or I'm trying to, every morning I wake up and the first thing I do is I look at my doorknob outside because I am fully expecting them to put like one of those 7-day eviction notices on my door. Now, that's technically illegal. It's illegal retaliation. They can't do that legally. But they do a lot of illegal stuff anyway. And they've done a lot of illegal stuff to me over the last year anyway. And they've done so blatantly. So I feel like they're going to figure out a way to do something like this week or next week or the week after. And I'm going to have like a 7-day evict notice on my door because I chose to come after them in court. Every time I leave here to go do whatever I'm going to do, whether it's shopping, whatever it is, groceries, whatever. Every time I come back, every time I get off the exit off the highway that goes to my apartment, I'm always a little bit nervous pulling up to my own door because I'm half expecting there to be an eviction notice on my door when I get back home. I'm half expecting that surprise to be there. And I shouldn't have to live like this. I've done nothing wrong. I've been a tenant here for 8 years. I have always been quiet. I've never bothered nobody. And the management here is just super upset for whatever reason that I won't put up with the ongoing all day, everyday noise going on upstairs. They feel like I should have to just sit here and take it. Otherwise, they'll evict me. And they've never once shown even a remote empathy for like my concerns about the noise and what I'm going through in here on a daily basis. They've never given the people upstairs a behavioral, notice or whatever. But they're trying to push me out of here. I think it's because I'm older. I think it's because I used to be a former homeless man. Brooke Farmer just has some sort of a focus on me. She's got some sort of an obsession with me. She's got a target on me. And that's the way it is. But yeah, every single day I wake up, I look at my doorknob, thinking, is this going to be the day that they put this eviction notice on my door? Every time I leave to go grocery shopping or go do anything or go to a friend's house or anything, I'm always nervous when I pull back into the driveway because I half expect there to be a note on my door with some plastic wrapped around it telling me I have to leave within 7 days or 10 days or however long they're going to give me. So you should watch my previous video if you want to know what all led up to this, but this is really the way it's been the whole last 6 or 7 months. This is the feeling I've been living with the whole last 6 or 7 months, on top of dealing with the daily noise. Always worried about what my landlords are going to do next because Brooke has a target on my back and because she doesn't feel like I have the same rights to quiet enjoyment that every other tenant has. This is every day, and this is another morning I woke up, I went out, did my exercises, all that, and every time I come back to my door, I'm half expecting to see a notice on my door like that. All because I stood up for myself, asserted my own rights, and all because I just want a little, basic peace and quiet in my home. When people are letting their kids, especially older kids who are like 10 and 12, when they let them run back and forth all day like that, that creates a sound that's very similar to hammering. It's the same basic sound. It's a pounding sound. And so when they're doing it all day, every day, it's the equivalent of living under a construction project that just never stops. You know, sometimes you might live in an apartment and the landlord does a construction project in the apartment above you, and it lasts a week, two, and it's a pain in the butt, but you can deal with it for a couple weeks, right? Well, it's like that, except I've been dealing with it for an entire year. It's like all that running creates that pounding, just the same way hammers do. It feels like being under a never ending construction project. It's the same thing. And I don't think anybody would put up with that, and I don't think I should have to put up with that. But Brooke has a target on my back because she doesn't feel like I have the right to assert my rights or whatever. So I'll leave it at that for today. Now I'm going to be posting another video later. A big warning about that video: it's going to be very boring to watch. It's pretty much just me documenting everything line by line that's happened. And it's like 40 minutes long. So I'm even going to put something in the title saying this is very boring. Only watch if you really want to. Because that's where I document line by line, I would say about 70% of the stuff that's gone on. But you can watch my last video to understand why I'm saying what I'm saying in this video. So that's it. That's all for today. I'm glad there was no eviction notice on my door today. But I know Brooke is chomping at the bit right now, trying to figure out how she can get me out of here, especially now that she knows I'm coming after her in court. Well, sorry, Brooke, you shouldn't have harassed me for the last year. You've been gunning for me for the last year, but the tables have reversed. You're no longer gunning for me. I'm gunning for you now. Legally speaking. Don't want anybody to accuse me of a terroristic threat or nothing. But legally speaking, the tables have reversed, and you are no longer gunning for me. I am gunning for you now. Shots fired, bang, bang. And I'm going to do everything I can to get my compensation and to make sure you're never in the landlord business again. I am absolutely determined to see this through as long as I have to see this through. I'll do everything I can to get a lawyer to represent me till I find one. And even if I lose in court, I'll do everything I can to keep bringing this thing back before court and back before court and back before court. I am not going to stop. You've woken up my fight back instinct now. And so you're going to know what it feels like to have somebody coming after you. But the only difference is I'm coming after you for legit reasons, because you've been trying to harass me for almost a year now. Situation's reversed. I'm going to use every legal means I can to come after you and to get you out of the way. You do not need to be a landlord. You have zero empathy for anybody. You don't care about anybody but yourself. And you chose the wrong person to put a target on. Especially since you've been targeting me for a year. So I'm determined to see. I don't care if this has to go all the way to the Supreme Court to get my justice. That's what I'm willing to do. I'm willing to do a 5-year battle, a 10-year long battle, however long this has got to take. All right. Just not going to be pushed around no more. And I'm going to get compensation for you trying to push me around over the last year. And I'm going to make sure you are out of the landlord business. If you see this video, you can rest assured of that. You have no empathy for, you don't belong in any business that has anything to do with dealing with people. You don't need to be a landlord. You don't need to be a waitress. You don't need to be a salesperson. You just need to work in a factory somewhere where you don't really have to deal with other people too much. Because you have zero empathy for other people. You don't care what I'm going through in here. You want to target me anyway. And you ignore everybody else's complaints about everybody else. But we're going to have our day in court. And my guess is I'm probably going to lose the first court case because you have better lawyers than I do. But I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. Any way that I can get legal justice, I'm going to. So, yeah, that's what it is. But anyway, back to the rest of you watching this. This is what I deal with every day. Besides all the noise upstairs all the time, I always wake up, I always come back home worried that there's going to be that eviction notice on my door, especially now that they know I'm coming after them in court or trying to. And it shouldn't be like this. I've been here 8 years. I've never done anything to give them any sort of problems. Never had any behavioral issues, nothing like that. This just shouldn't be happening. Okay, that's it for today.